Okay, hey everyone, it's Alex here, and I'm joined by Tyler, who came to Vietnam quite a long time ago, signed up for a program through Ninja Teacher. You've been out here for, must be like 6 years?
Yeah, the better part of 6 years. I came out here in May of 2017. I've spent my entire time here since, besides September 21 to May 22, so.
Well, we're here at a restaurant and we're gonna get some food. The way it works here, they just bring out like a big stack of the bun uts, and then you order whatever meat you want, and you order like veggie squid in, and it comes with sauces. My favorites are that one and that one.
Yeah, I'm cool with the thịt nướng, which is, like grilled pork, and then you said you like the jack.
Yeah, and the nem nướng is also pretty good.
Do you want to
should
get
we
all
just
three
get
of those?
those three?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
You want to try your Vietnamese skills with them?
Sure. Yeah, why not? How many of these bánh ướt?
They just bring a big stack. So
Okay, lấy bánh ướt và thịt nướng và nem nướng và chả cống.
What made you originally want to come to Vietnam and move out to Vietnam?
I was living in America and I just wasn't really happy. I was living kind of the rat race in LA, working a job that I wasn't super happy with, kind of waking up every day not feeling too good about what I was doing. I thought to myself, I really would like to try to live abroad, but I didn't know how I would do it or how I would make that possible. So I ended up seeing a friend of mine who I went to high school with, and he posted something about living in Hanoi and saying that life in Vietnam was so great, that he was teaching English, and I thought, well, that seems interesting. How did he get, on with that? So I started, looking on YouTube naturally, and then I found your channel, and I just started binging your content like every single day, watching each new video that you came out with. It was one of those things where without those videos, I don't think I would have made the decision to come here, So I just want to say, like, I'm really grateful that you put in all that hard work, and I'm really grateful that you started the channel and, kind of helped me and, countless other people overcome really fear, fear of big change or fear of whatever it is that's kind of keeping you stuck in something that you're not happy with, and making what seems impossible to a lot of people, moving out to Vietnam, seem like a real possibility. So, good stuff for you, man.
Awesome. I appreciate that, because myself and the team put in a lot of effort over the years. And the reason we do it is people like yourself that have come out here and really like Vietnam, giving them the opportunity to do it and like helping people do it is, our mission really. It's what we aim to do. Let's talk a bit about what you liked about Vietnam and what caused you to end up staying here for so long.
Oh, there's a ton of things I like about Vietnam. I actually made like a similar thing to what you do on your channel, like a top 10 things or top 10 reasons. I made one about top 10 reasons I love Vietnam. The number one reason, I'll just get right to it, was the women.
Okay.
Just really beautiful, really kind, loving women. And then the people in general, just really friendly people. You always feel really safe here. You just feel like you can get along with people and talk with them, and they're very open and very friendly, even if you don't speak any Vietnamese. And then beyond that, just the cost of things. It's like this meal is probably gonna cost us a total of, less than $10, I would imagine, right? So, and for two people to eat that variety of food and have drinks like that, it's just impossible anywhere else in the developed world, at least. I don't know.
How many times have you just been randomly invited to go sit down with people and like drink beer and eat food with them?
Countless times.
Like, where does that happen in the world, like, except here?
Nowhere. Maybe in Mexico a couple of times, but it was way less than it would happen here.
Well, let's try some of these bun uts, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see the big tower bun uts over here.
It's like an actual structure.
Yeah.
It's like some engineering.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess it's like 2.5K per little piece. And
Yeah.
we just bring a staff. Cool.
Exactly, yeah.
I've never done this before. I've never eaten this. I've had bánh ướt, but
Yeah.
it's like already been.
It's usually already rolled up, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow your lead on this because I'm kind of clueless on this process.
They are a little bit harder to roll up than spring rolls because they're sticky. But basically just throw in a bit of meat, whatever you want. So you can mix up the different meats if you want, but I just like usually do it separated. Some mango in here.
A uni-meat option here. How did you go about the rolling process? Did you just go like one side and
Yeah,
and
just
roll
one
it?
side and then the other side.
All right. Yeah. Not too bad, I guess. That'll work.
Does the job.
Yeah. So is this mom tom?
I don't think it is, no.
All right, cool. Then
Not
we're
a
then we
huge
good.
fan. It's not right.
I think it is,
My bad.
but it's all good. I'm not sure. Let me ask. I'm like, salt này là
Mắm nêm.
mắm nêm hả? Mắm nêm, not mom tom. Okay. Come on.
One is the fermented shrimp, one is fermented fish.
So
I always get confused. Let's try it. Oh yeah, there's the fermented one. There's like two types. This is the less strong one. I think this is not the shrimp one. This is like the fermented fish sauce.
but this is good.
Yeah.
This is really tasty. It's light. It's one of those meals where you could have this as like an afternoon snack and then have your full meal later or something like that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some of the other foods in Vietnam that are your favorites?
I mean, I really like cơm tam or cơm tam, which is like broken rice and it's served with a pork chop. I usually get it with an egg as well.
Yeah.
And it has some cucumbers and tomatoes, and I, throw the fish sauce on it. Usually this same fish sauce, the nuoc mam chum,
Yeah.
the garlic and chili powder. Yeah, that's an excellent breakfast. Love that. I love meat wine. I saw you eating that in some of your videos with the girl what the pho,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's excellent. That's probably one of my favorite noodle dish. I know everyone loves pho, but I'm not a huge pho fan. Like, it's good, but it's not one of those where I'm rushing to go get it. Same with boom ball.
Yeah.
Not a huge boom ball fan.
I'll eat pho at least a few times a week. I do like
Really?
pho, yeah. But
Nice.
bun bar, it's okay. I'll enjoy it if I have it once in a while, but it's not my favorite.
I think because the broth is actually pretty dependent on that mom tom and boom ball. So yeah, it's kind of a weird broth, and I don't really like the noodles either. They're kind of like not the right consistency for me.
Right.
I'm noodle biased, I guess.
I think those are all up there for me as well.
Yeah,
Pangarong with some bun sale
yeah.
and bun cha is one of my favorites.
Banseo is excellent. I forgot about banseo. I'm going to add banseo into my list
Right.
too. I'm piggybacking off that pick. Have you had banseo like anywhere else besides Saigon? Do you notice how they're like different in
They are
different
different,
places?
yeah. Like in the north, they're kind of small and
Yeah.
a little bit more crispy, I think, I found. I actually really like it up in the north. But like each place, yeah, has a slight different twist on it.
Yeah, I find that very interesting. And then here they're just kind of like massive, big old omelet pancake things.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep wanting to put like a little bit of sauce in the spoon. It's dipping sauce. And I think if I get it wet inside, there's no way I'm rolling it up.
That's true, yeah. Try that sauce there, it's quite good. It's a sweet
Okay.
one.
That's the patented Alex Stevenson method. Here we go.
Alright.
Try a little bit of the sweet sauce. Ngon quá. So good, so delicious.
So you mentioned the people in Vietnam and dating and that. So you do have a girlfriend though, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
how has that been, dating in Vietnam and all of that?
Yeah, it's been cool. I've had what I would consider, I guess, 3 serious relationships in the 6 years that I've been here. I've been with my current partner for the better part of 2 years, 2.5 years or so. And she's great. All Vietnamese women are great. They're all super sweet, super nice. It's just, it's a matter of finding someone you're compatible with, like anything, right? And someone who helps you grow as a person and who you also want to help grow as well. And you can definitely find that here. They're very beautiful, very open to dating a foreigner, especially, which is something that, you might be wondering whether or not the Vietnamese women here like foreigners. Short answer is yes, they do. And I guess not all of them, but a lot of them do. And they won't see necessarily like you not speaking Vietnamese as a barrier to dating you. They'll make their best effort to speak English. It kind of shows a little bit about their character and their willingness to make the extra effort for you, which is kind of refreshing to see.
In terms of the language barrier then, have you found that that's been an issue when it comes to, interacting with people here? Do you find the language barrier is an issue, or how has that affected your life here?
Never found that to be an issue, because most Vietnamese people, they will make an effort to speak English with you, at least the little amount of English they do know, or some of them know a lot of English, so they'll be able to interact with you fully in English. Day-to-day life, not an issue at all. Relationship-wise, it can become an issue, because at a certain point, you want to communicate on a deeper level, and you're unable to do that if you don't speak a language fluently together. So that can become an issue, but daily life, the language barrier has never been an issue. And then, the more Vietnamese you do learn, like I'm learning actively more Vietnamese now, and then it's becoming much less of an issue.
So how's that going with learning Vietnamese?
It's going well, yeah. It's kind of been a process since the first day I got here, really. Going out and talking to people and trying to learn new words and improve every day. I've never really taken like a formal class, never had a Vietnamese teacher. I've just tried to learn as much as I can from my interactions with local people here. You brought up the example of how often do you get invited for a drink or to come sit at the table and have something to eat. Whenever that happens, I'll try to treat that as an opportunity to pick up some words or some vocabulary and try to improve.
What kind of level are you at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say basic conversations. I can have basic conversations. I can express some thoughts and ideas. It's definitely not to the point where I'm just rattling it off, like I can completely communicate everything I want. I still have to sit there and think sometimes about how do I structure this sentence. My listening skills are not that great, especially when I start to speak what sounds to them a little bit more fluent. They'll come at me with like just really fast local Vietnamese, and I don't know what you just said. And that can be a little bit embarrassing, but like anything, you just have to be willing to be embarrassed and not really care about what other people think.
Put yourself out there and don't worry about looking silly. People
Yeah.
appreciate it. They're not making fun of you. They're like really appreciating that you're trying.
For sure, 100%.
Obviously, you came out here to start teaching, and is that what you've been doing the majority of the time while you've been here?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So teaching English has always been my main source of income while I've been out here in Vietnam. And it's an excellent way to make that, steady source of income that you can live on. You do get paid pretty well to teach here, especially once you've got some experience. But even when you're just starting out, you're making enough money to absolutely pay for all of your expenses and, have some money to save if you're not spending it willy-nilly. Yeah, that's always been kind of the bread and butter form of income for me. Doing your course was a huge help for that, by the way. It was something where it took me from having basically no experience beyond just regular tutoring and taught me how to be an effective teacher. So I didn't come in the classroom with like that sense of fear or anxiety. I came in kind of with a sense of confidence, like a sense of this is something I've done a few trial lessons. I've had some quality teachers teach me how to be a teacher, so I'm gonna go in there and just kind of, rock it.
That's good, yeah. While we're eating, Tyler's also filming a bit because he started a YouTube channel. So what is your goal behind your YouTube channel? What are you trying to show people? Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically, it's a travel channel. It's called Big Time Bentley, and I'm just trying to show you guys that traveling outside of your comfort zone or to different places is fun, and I try to do like some language learning along the way and learn about the culture and the history of places. So it's really just about kind of exposing people to something different and giving them maybe a form of entertainment or some sort of reprieve from their daily life. Hopefully it's exciting and engaging where they can have a little bit of fun watching, and if it inspires people to make a big change in their life like I did, watching your videos and making the big change to come out here, then that's awesome too.
Well, definitely go check out the video that we filmed on Tyler's channel. Subscribe to his channel.
And get on his channel. I'm telling you guys, it is extremely valuable content, like life-changing content. If you're interested in being a teacher in Vietnam, Ninja Teacher is the channel to go to. Any questions you have, any sort of fears that you have, they become erased because you address all of them. You address all of them very effectively. Good stuff, man. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they count the number of plates that you've had. It's 2,500 for each bun nut.
So I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates. So
5 as well, yeah. So what are your thoughts on the bun nut?
excellent, very delicious. Something that I'm really glad that I tried here, especially because it has that unique style of being able to roll it up yourself. Different textures, different flavors, and it's a fun way to eat. It's like a little mini Vietnamese burrito thing, so
Nice.
highly recommend it.
And it came to about 100,000 each,
Yep.
which is not bad at all.
Very cheap.
Yeah, good spot. Highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Totally.
Okay, so we're here now at a cafe, and I wanted to ask Tyler a few more questions. What have been some of the highlights of your time living in Vietnam, whether it's travel or interesting things that you've done here?
So some of the highlights just initially, I guess, was just getting here. When I touched down on the plane, I was like, wow, I'm really here. Doing the Tesla course was really fun because, you know, I just immediately met like 40 or 50 new friends right away, and it was just really cool. So it was a good way to socialize and kind of like get to know Vietnam a little bit with another group of people who are also getting to know it at the same time. Some other highlights, my family, when they came to visit me in 2018, we took a trip up to Hanoi and Ha Long Bay, which was a beautiful place up in the north, and if you ever have a chance to visit it, I highly recommend it. Every day's a highlight, man. When I wake up every day, like there's a sense of adventure and a sense of like, you know, what's gonna happen today, or what sorts of cool, interesting things am I gonna see that I wouldn't see normally back in America. So I just consider every day a highlight.
Do you like riding around on a motorbike?
Love it. Yeah. I think it's a really fun way to travel, really unique. Like, it's something you're not gonna, I mean, you could do it in America, but it's quite dangerous because everyone's in a car and you get hit, you're kind of done. Here, there's some cars on the road, but motorbikes kind of lead the road. So driving on a motorbike here, and it's really like a scooter that you're on. It's a fun way to get around, and yeah, it's sort of fun just to take drives sometimes.
Yeah, I also love riding around. It's so convenient. Just hop on your bike, go anywhere in the city.
Yeah.
So talking of Ho Chi Minh City, you've spent your whole time here living in Ho Chi Minh City, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, nice. So which areas of the city have you lived in, and where are you currently living now?
My first 4 months, I stayed out in Gol Bap district, which is kind of in the outskirts of the city near the airport. And then after Gol Bap, I moved to Binh Thanh district, kind of closer to the center, but it's not directly in the center. So it's got a mix sort of like local and Western places. An area in that district that's really blowing up in terms of the Western scene is like the Pham Viet Chan area.
Viet Chan,
Yeah.
Very cool there. Lots of little cool cafes and restaurants and bars.
Yep, for sure. It's a really
Yeah.
cool area. So I spent about 3 years living there in Binh Thanh district, and then after that I moved to District 1. So I've been in District 1 since then.
Nice. Not many people live in District 1.
Yeah.
How come you decided to move out here?
I don't know if you remember a guy named Brady that did the course. Yeah.
I still keep in touch with him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He came out and he wanted to roommate together, and he was really set on moving to D1, and we found a really nice building to live in. So I was like, all right, let's do it. We made the move and moved over to D1.
Cool.
And then once I got used to living in D1, which is in the center of the city, I kind of was like, all right, I want to stay in the center. Like I like the liveliness and being within a reasonably short driving distance to any other part of the city.
Do you now live in a studio apartment or what?
So now I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's a separated bedroom. It's close to Bui Vien Street, which is the popular backpacking street for those of you who are familiar with it. But it's far enough away where it's not like too crazy noisy and things like that. It's a decent neighborhood. It's a very local part of like D1, so it's got a local vibe.
Thank you. Some drinks. Oh, I got a milk bubble tea,
Yeah,
hazelnut milk tea.
hazelnut milk tea, and I got the black
Cafe
coffee.
Denda.
Cafe Denda, come dog. Black coffee with no sugar.
It's good.
Love it. Centrally located. Good spot to be in. And I found a pretty affordable place. I mean, what I would consider affordable nowadays in Saigon. Prices have risen a lot in terms of rental prices. They're not outrageous, especially when you compare it to Western prices. I'm paying 13 million a month for my rent, which is like 550 US dollars. So not crazy, but you know,
That's still pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not too bad.
I have noticed a bit of an increase in rent prices, but you can still get a nice studio apartment within that kind of range. Like under 12 mil, if you want to find something kind of simple and nice, but
Yeah.
a little bit more, you can also get something really nice. Yeah, it's a studio apartment, but in a high-rise building, and it's also about around that price, but it's got some nice, like a swimming pool and like gym in the building, so that's
Oh,
kind
that's
of
nice.
nice.
Yeah, I don't have the amenities in mine. Mine is just the apartment, and I've got a nice balcony, but I'm in like a house in an alley with like
Right.
10 units.
Yeah, I mostly lived in those when I was in Vietnam. Like the majority of the time I've been in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's only recently that I've lived in a high-rise building, and there's pros and cons. I feel like you do get the nice amenities in a high-rise building, but I do also kind of miss being like down a cool little alley with
Yeah.
you know some life going on in that alley, like dogs running around,
Yeah.
kids playing,
Yeah.
some roosters maybe randomly like
Yeah.
in the alley. So there's pros and cons with the different types of apartments. Is there anything that you would say to someone that's maybe considering teaching English abroad and coming to Vietnam to give it a shot and live out here for a while? What would you say to someone like that?
I would say just do it. It's one of those things where you've gone over this idea in your channel a few times, but it's very rare for someone to come out here and regret the decision moving out here. I certainly don't regret it. In fact, I consider it the best decision I ever made in my life. Yeah, just if you have some sort of, you know, fear or whatever it is that's holding you back, everything's gonna be okay. Just do it. Go act on your dreams, on your ambitions, and yeah, make them happen.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us, Tyler, and chatting to us about your experience of living here in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Definitely go check out Tyler's channel and
cheers.
subscribe to our channel for more videos about living in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And we'll speak to you soon.